Howdy everyone. This is Konstantin, Russia, currently based in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. This is my daily update on what's going on, and welcome. Fantastic day in Tashkent. 88 degrees Fahrenheit in direct sunlight. That's close to 30, I believe, in Celsius. 1st of April, hard to believe. I missed yesterday's stream due to, well, I call it a miracle. I had an eye surgery. The surgery had been planned for a long time, but I had no clue that I would undertake it in Uzbekistan. So unexpectedly and so miraculously, it's pretty incredible. So I missed the live stream last night. I was resting and just not feeling too well. A lot of people ask me what kind of surgery it was, and I can see without contacts now. No, I cannot. I'm very nearsighted. I'm still wearing my contacts. It was not LASIK. That kind of corrects your vision to 20/20, but that was a similar surgery. Part of my eyes retina started deteriorating a little bit, and they burned area with laser around it, so it stops deteriorating. LASIK, only same kind of procedure, green laser. Oh man, that's brutal. Let me tell you, it's not a very pleasant procedure, but I am so happy to take it. Now I can go and do sports. I cannot worry about my eyes anymore and things like that. It's fantastic, all in all. Lorna is giving me 5x5 in the email. As usual, I have my comments turned off for the first 30 or so minutes because I want to deliver my message, and only after that I want to turn the live stream comments on so I can interact with you. I want to do a little hour 45 minutes, depending how it goes. The reason, this is a very personal topic, okay, and very personal, so personal that some people probably would think I'm crazy to talk about it, because that comes from the very, very bottom of my heart. And I wanted to tell you today how I lost my faith. Yes, how I lost my faith. I believe in God. Well, I'll tell you, I don't believe in God. I'll tell you what I feel about God and how I feel about God just in a few minutes, but God is with me, let's put it this way. And I pray at the end of the stream, and I mean every single word that I say, because it comes right out of my heart, okay? I do not read prayers. Sometimes I do, but rarely. I usually just speak up my mind, whatever comes to my mind. And I've had God all my life with me, but I cannot say that I have faith. And all right, without further ado, let's get to the message. By the way, this message is for both believers and non-believers alike, because I'm not gonna, like a lot of non-believers, when you start talking about God with them, they get aggressive, they get anxious. Oh, the guys will be trying to convince me to become Christian or whatever. Not such a thing, No way I would do something like that. This is just my personal story, and everything I'm sharing has happened to me. It's in my heart. It's it's who I am. Okay, and I'm telling you about this. Okay, I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm not trying to reinforce you or whatever. No, it's not. It's not the question. That's not my message. It's not purpose of today's stream. It's just I would like to tell you in general how I feel about God and what is my relationship, and I would like to tell you how it has changed in the last 30 days due to this conflict in Ukraine, military conflict, and it has changed quite a bit. Okay, and I feel a need, an urge to talk about it. So this is what it's all about. Now, a little history. Like I said, I don't have faith. I started praying, one of my first memories. I was 4 years old and I was bitten by a dog. I clearly remember that moment when actually I was bitten. Somehow it's stuck in my memory. And then the next moment I remember, I was very scared. And my mom and my aunt, they were all freaking out, and they took me to a doctor. And it happened in a village with my grandpa and grandma. The dog bit me. But then they took me immediately to the city where my parents, our home was in the city, but my grandma and grandpa lived in the country. So they took me to the city, to a hospital. And I clearly remember this emotions of complete fear. And I was saying two words. I was saying, God help. Kept on repeating it. God help. And I think I was even crying, 4 years old. And I was not saying it out loud, but I was kind of thinking about this. And I was asking God to help me. I didn't know what God was at the time. 4 years old, I didn't know what kind of help I needed. I didn't know anything, but I clearly remember these two words. And I don't even remember how God came into my life. No clue. It's just 4 years old. Being a 4-year-old, I remember I was asking him for help. So, must have been my grandparents because they were religious. My mom and dad weren't. My dad was agnostic, and my mom was, she believed, but she kept it to herself. That was pretty interesting. So it must have been my grandparents. Over my teen years, I had a relationship with God. He was somewhere far in my heart, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. I did pray when there were times of trouble, especially in my teen years. I needed to pass an exam, I would casually would say, oh God, please help me, or something like this, But I can say that I was a believer, okay? At the same time, I was not really a believer, okay? Because how can you believe in something that is in front of you? You can see, you can feel, you can touch, you can, it's really, again, I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm not trying to, I'm just trying to speak up my feelings, okay? Let's say you own a car, okay, and it's right in front of you. You have the keys in your pocket. You can unlock the car, get inside and drive it anywhere you want. Do you believe that you have a car? Do you have faith that you have a car? I think it's not the right word. You know that you have a car because it's right here in front of you and you have a key. Another example, I have two eyes and I'm seeing everything through my eyes. I had surgery last night, yesterday morning actually. Do I have faith that I have eyes? Do I believe that I have eyes? No, because I have them. They're right there, okay? And it's really strange. Over the years, I have developed this same kind of relationship with God. In my heart, every time I think of him, I feel him in my body, in my heart. And over the years, I gotten more experienced and I started speaking with him, not in my head. He doesn't speak to me in words or anything like that, but he kind of gets back to me through feelings. Very difficult thing to explain. I don't I don't know how to explain it really, but if I communicate with him like this. If I have a question, I ask a question out there. Sometimes I speak it up, sometimes I just think about it, and almost immediately or very soon I get answer from God. The answer is, it comes in terms of feelings. Sometimes it's rush of some strange feelings in my body. Sometimes it's goosebumps. Sometimes it's a person that all of a sudden comes and does something that's kind of the answer to my question and things like that, you know. Sometimes it's an event that other people might think, oh, it's a coincidence. But I don't believe in coincidences, okay? I think everything happens for a reason. And this is what it is, you know. So I must say that I have no faith, because I I don't believe in something that doesn't exist, but I just know that he is in my heart. He lives right here, okay? So I would say I have direct bridge or something like that, direct connection with God. And this is, faith is when I wouldn't feel it and I would just believe and pray and send prayers out there and things like that. So, but there was time in my life when I actually gained faith, and it was about a year ago. And now it gets even more personal. About a year ago, I was, well, one day I woke up and my mom called me and she was freaking out. It was like 6 in the morning, and my dad was not feeling well. There was an emergency ambulance, intensive care, because I thought at first he was having a heart attack and he was not feeling well with his heart. And in 1 hour, he died. He just died, you know. He had been, or we thought he had been healthy, because he would go through complete checkups. The latest checkup he had gone through was 2 months prior to his passing away. And it was suddenly, like out of the blue. He was healthy, you know. He didn't have any chronic disease or anything like that. He was absolutely healthy. His aorta, it's a pipe, so to speak, that goes to our hearts, and you know the blood is goes through aorta. It just burst, and it's a rare condition, but it happens to many people. It's called aneurysma of aorta, and he died just like that, you know. And we had talked a previous night with him. He was shopping for a new car. He would call me constantly to ask my opinion. What do you think of this car? What do you think of this car? You know, he was so excited because he had made some money, saved up some money for a brand new car, and then he was sharing the plans of taking my mom to a vacation, upcoming summer and things like that. Then I made a present to them. I bought them a brand new grill. And then he was looking forward to use it for the first time, or discussing what he was going to make, you know, and things like that. And I was one night, and next morning he was gone, just like that. It was but it was super emotional back then. Not even emotional. It was, I can't, it was just so bad. It's like my life was, okay. And what happened next was, I felt like God left me. I felt that connection I had with God. All my life I had had it. 44 years or 45 years, 45. It had been gone. I didn't feel anything inside. That's such a feeling that I was so used to when, like, I would look into my heart, I would just ask God for anything, and He was right here, physical. It was gone. And there was nothing. I couldn't feel anything. It was so bad. I felt cold and empty. Empty is a very right word. I felt empty. And it's terrible. I felt so dismayed, just so confused, so lost. My dad, I realized how much he had meant to me after he passed away. It's really strange. But my mom was absolutely in ruins. She was a wreck. We all were wrecks. Anyway, couple days after we buried my dad, I moved to Rostov to be around my mom for some time, for about a month. And I was sitting at my kitchen table in my house in Rostov, and I usually prayed. I usually, I was asking God to take care of my family and help me and things like that. And all of a sudden, I realized that, I couldn't pray because there was nothing there, nothing. I didn't know what to do. I was absolutely lost. And then I gained faith. I still prayed. I still did the usual thing. And I told God that I wasn't feeling anything in the moment. And I didn't feel Him. And I felt like He had left me. Okay, I felt like I was absolutely alone. But I said that I was praying on faith, that I had faith, that He hadn't left me. I had faith of Him being with me, still in my heart. I had faith in Him still loving me and still helping me and still answering my thoughts and prayers. It's just I wasn't feeling it. So that's what I said. I said, now I have faith because I don't feel anything here, but I'm acting and praying on faith as if you are here inside of me. That's what exactly I told Him. And I kept on living, doing what I was doing, praying the usual, with my family alone, asking Him. Wasn't receiving any answers. No connection with God. It's like someone came in and cut it off, cut it off cable. But I kept on acting on faith. And I learned what faith was all about. It lasted for a few months. It lasted the entire summer, June, July, August, and a little bit of September. And in September, I actually lost faith because I started feeling that God returned. At first, it was very little and very, very, tiny feeling. It was as if someone started lifting an iron wall, and the feelings were like crawling underneath into the small crack and somehow getting into my heart. And over the weeks that, the feelings grew, and all of a sudden everything returned to normal. And I realized that it was not God who left me. The God was still there, probably even closer than I thought. But it was me. It was me who shut off this communication, this connection with Him. And it was pretty strong feeling when I got, So I found faith in May, and I lost faith in September, because it just, this connection that is stronger than faith. That's at least what I think. Don't throw rocks into me. I'm just explaining how I was feeling and how I'm feeling. Well, and I understood one thing. Some of my family are non-believers. They don't believe in God. Some of my family are believers. They believe in God. And I really understood that it doesn't really matter what we believe, whether we believe we have faith or we don't have faith and things like that, because He's always there, out there for us. And it's absolutely doesn't matter whether how we think. He's always right next to us, and He cares about us and He loves us. It's like, there's a good analogy. A good friend of mine, he has a few children, and his oldest daughter stopped speaking to him. She really got upset with his dad. It was pretty bad conflict. She's 17 years old. She moved away to go to high school in another country for a year, and she doesn't speak to him. Does my friend, her father, love his daughter less for that? Not at the slightest. He still has same kind of feelings for her. It just hurts his feelings that she's acting that way. But we all know that that's temporary. We all know that it's going to change, and we all know. I know as a father, have quite a few kids. I know that if something happens to them and they stop talking to me, or get into a fight with me, I'm not gonna love them any less. And I think that's how, well, I know how God behaves, and then that's what He's all about. Okay. Again, it's my personal opinion and it's my personal relationship with God, and I just wanted to share that with you. I'm not trying to convince you or anything, because each one of us has a very special and a very personal relationship with God, and that's what mine is. Now, let me tell you quickly a story of my dad. Quite a few people have been asking. My dad had been agnostic for 47 or 48 years of his life. Probably 48. He always laughed at me, well, at my mom. And my mom was religious a bit, in the Soviet Union it was really hard to be religious, but she was. And then she would take me to church. Well, I would ask myself to go to church with her to pray. And my dad was a little ridiculous, and my mom saying, "Oh, why are you taking him to church? It's a big sect," and things like that, And then he moved to Prague due to some reasons. And now I understand that the reasons were different from what they had thought they were, my mom and my dad, before they were moving to Prague. The thing is, in Prague, he got fatally ill. His pancreas stopped working, okay? I was in the United States at the time, and he was in the hospital for almost 2 weeks, and the doctors thought he was gonna die. They thought he has a couple days left, and they suggested that he would say goodbye to relatives. And he called me up, and I was playing tennis. I clearly remember that day. And he called me up and he said goodbye. He's gonna die. I couldn't believe it. I literally sat on the ground when I heard that, out of the blue. I didn't even know at the time he was at the hospital, right? I refused. I started trying to do something. I said, Dad, let me get you better doctors in Prague. I don't know anyone there, but I'll try. And, and he said, son, don't worry about it. It's just my time has come. I feel like, this is time to go. I was dismayed. That was back in 2000. Really, really strange, okay? I started praying to God, obviously. And my mom probably was praying too, and relatives and so forth. And then a miracle happened to my dad. The doctors, he couldn't speak Czech language at the time. And the doctors, they spoke Russian. They would speak to him in Russian, but in between themselves, they would speak Czech. And my dad was, basically, they told him that that's it. There's not much they could do. And they started giving, he was in so much pain, they started giving him, I think, morphine or like real strong pain-killing drug. And he said he wasn't feeling well. He didn't know what to do. And he just either fell asleep or he lost conscience. Either way, he doesn't know. He didn't know at the time. And all of a sudden, he saw Jesus at the, end of his bed. He couldn't see the face because he was kind of looking outwards, and something was keeping from like turning his neck and actually see the face of a person in white who was sitting right next to his bed. And that person, my dad said he was absolutely sure that was Jesus Christ. All white, and he was shining of white light, okay? And he brought such a peace, and the pain was gone immediately, my dad said. And like again, my dad couldn't look at the face, so he could only see the figure, the body of a person or of something that was sitting there. And Jesus spoke to my dad, and he said, Peter, you are healed. You're gonna wake up and get up, and you're gonna be fine. And that was pretty much it. My dad woke up immediately, and at first he thought it was a dream, but then the pain was gone, okay? He tried to get up, and he got up, and he started walking around his bed. There was a ward for 2 people, and the doctor came in, and the doctor was terrified. My dad shouldn't be walking, So I started yelling at him to get down, and my dad was actually laughing, and he said, "You know what? I'm healed. I'm not gonna die. I'm fine because Jesus came to me and told me." A few doctors came, and they thought my dad was crazy. They thought he was in so much pain that he lost his mind. My dad asked them to eat because he hadn't eaten for a couple weeks. He said, "I'm really hungry. I feel rush of energy, but I'm so I want to eat something." And the doctors started speaking among themselves, but he understood what they were saying in Czech. They were clearly saying, he said that, this patient, this Russian, he's gone crazy. He's gonna, too much pain. That's it. That's his last hours. My dad was asking to eat something, and they said, if we give you something to eat, you're gonna die within hours, couple hours, okay? Then he saw a man eating, having a bowl of porridge right next to him, his neighbor at the ward, and he jumped. He grabbed his plate and he started eating porridge or whatever it was in there. The doctors were terrified. They tried to take that plate away from my dad, and he ate. He ate because he said he was in such shock that, the doctors called up emergency personnel saying the guy is gonna, he's gonna go in a few minutes. And then an hour passed by, and then a couple hours and so forth. And that was in the morning. Doctors were absolutely amazed, and they started reading the vitals, and he was actually better, okay? He wasn't dying or anything like that. After having a meal at his state, he was It's pretty incredible. So they didn't know what was going on. And then my dad could understand them speaking, although at the time he couldn't understand Czech whatsoever, but he could understand them speak and he could understand they were talking about. And then at the end he said, I wanna leave the hospital. I said, you can't leave, you're gonna die. If you leave, you first of all, we don't understand how in your state you're walking, right? And then if you leave, you're gonna die. And then my dad said, I'm leaving anyway. He got up, got dressed, and they made him sign papers saying that they're not responsible for his life. If he dies, it's his own responsibility, and things like that. And my dad had just walked away from the hospital. It was pretty incredible thing. Okay, it's all recorded. It's a very good hospital in Prague, and the doctors. I think that some of the doctors should be still there, should be still working. He never returned to the hospital. He actually showed up at mom's door, and mom couldn't believe it because she was crying day and night. Okay, and then she knows that the husband in a state which is he was saying goodbye to my mom as well, and then all of a sudden he shows up. That's like a joke, a bad evil joke, except for it wasn't a joke. So he shows up, and mom is all happy. Of course I think she just passed out or something. And then he had an urge to, needless to say, he went from agnostic to believer just like that. Jesus himself came to him, changed his mind, basically. And my dad said, listen, Elena, I need to look for a church. I want to go to church. And then a person they knew in Prague was a pastor, a Baptist pastor. And it was just a person who was helping out them in the Prague. And then the next thing, my dad went to that pastor and he told him the story. And the pastor was absolutely amazed. He said, listen, this is God's miracle. And then he brought him to a church, and my dad told everyone of his experience. And he said, listen, I want to be part of your church. And all of a sudden, someone said, we're building a church in Prague. If you can do construction, we would like you to come to this church and build it for us. And my father was in charge of a group of few men, and they were actually, like, in a few months or in a year, they built a church in Prague. And my father stayed in the church. He was the caretaker for about 9 years or so. And at the end, he started preaching, like speaking the word of God to different people. So this is the story of how my father, from being agnostic for 48 years, not only agnostic, he was pretty aggressive agnostic. He was making fun of people who believed. He was just ridiculing them, so to speak. Not in an evil or mean way, but jokingly, if you know what I mean. That's, he denied any idea, any thought of God, okay? He thought it was just a made-up thing, so people would just go to church and, anyway, didn't believe. And then, through experience like that, he became God's man. I've told you the story because it's kind of a miracle. Well, not kind of. It was a miracle. And a lot of people ask me in different streams, so I make a video about this story. Probably should even make a video, but this is complete story of what happened to my dad. And then he died at age of 68. He was 4 weeks shy of 69. Unexpectedly. He wasn't in much pain or anything like that. He went, so to speak. So for 20 years he was with God. He was giving God's word, messages to other people, and I was very proud of my dad. Now, my message is, I wanted to show you how I lost or gained faith, found faith and lost it. That's one part of the message. And the second part is what has happened to me in the last 30 days. No matter what I talk about these days, it all comes down to this: the military operation in Ukraine. It's a terrible tragedy. Everyone is getting so confused because we still don't have too much information, don't get too much information from the government. The information we get, a lot of people question. We get a lot of information from different sources that kind of contradicts with what our government tells. We cannot speak about it because we've been silenced by the new laws that set up a huge, huge punishment for speaking up of information that contradicts official government information about this military operation, right? It's called spreading fakes. Well, we don't know they're fakes or not, right? But anyway, for saying about them, we can go to faraway places for a long time. And it's been a little over a month, 5 weeks. And it's a mess. It's a personal tragedy. It's broken hearts of many people, mine included. It's made quite a few friends, enemies. It's made families split up. It's made mothers lost their children, both in Russia and in Ukraine. It's just, I don't even know how to call this thing. It's horror, real horror, right? It's destroyed our country the way we knew it. My country, Russia. And I'm talking about, not even talking about Ukraine. Ukraine's been under military assault, what we call special military operation, okay? I don't know what to say about the Ukrainians. Regular people who have been misplaced, whose houses were damaged, destroyed, whose families were affected, who fled to European countries as refugees, soldiers that died in Ukraine. I don't even know what to say, you know. It's unheard of. This is what happened to me in terms of, you can call it faith. I don't call it faith, okay, but I call it connection. But you can call it faith. My connection with God actually has strengthened over the last 30 days. For the first time in my life, I was urged, and that's another personal thing. I was urged to pray publicly and asking other people to join me in prayer, except for my family and for the loved ones. I had never done that before, and I think it was on February 26th in the stream when all of a sudden I was sitting in front of a camera, just like I'm sitting right now, and all of a sudden there was something in here. I had an urge in here to actually pray for people. And I did. I prayed for Maria Z and her mom and son and all people in Ukraine and all people in general, okay? It was a very rough prayer, so to speak. It's not really prayer, just words asking God for them. But a lot of people joined me in prayer, and that was pretty amazing. And over the last 30 days, this connection that I have always felt, it's been growing. It's not growing, but becoming stronger. It's a very strange thing to explain. Again, it's really hard for me to explain this when I speak about God and what I feel, because it's not the words, it's not the thoughts, it's the feelings, okay? And it's really hard to talk about feelings because I feel something, but it's really hard to explain how I feel, okay? The feeling of connection has been growing. The feeling is getting stronger. There's certainly some kind of transformation inside, and I am confused and even a little scared. I don't know what to make out of this connection, and I don't know where it's going to lead me. but it's there. And these trying times are the reason. And I know absolutely for sure. And I don't really know where it's leading. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this operation. Special military operation, read between the lines. By the way, thank you for reading between the lines a lot. A lot of people don't, and they actually email me strange things saying, oh, you gotta pick your side and so forth. It's like, what? What side? But anyway, thank you for reading between the lines. Many of you do. Anyway, nothing is clear about this military operation anymore. I personally think that the plan that they had in the beginning didn't work out. It's clear and obvious because they have stopped talking about not denazification and demilitarization. Now it's mostly like updates from the front lines. That's what we get, Oh, Russian army advanced this place, took that, captured that village, captured this, captured that. Not much. At first it was all about, oh, we're doing denazification, we're helping Ukrainian people, we're doing liberation, we're doing demilitarization. Now that mood is a little off in the society, and then the new mood is on, So I not making any predictions. I'm not making any prognoses or anything like that. I am just merely sitting here, watching, praying, obviously, and trying to keep sanity, trying to keep peace inside of my mind, because it's really difficult, it's really tough. I moved to Uzbekistan a few days ago, and it seems like it's been eternity, although it's less than a week. Things are much more calm here in Uzbekistan. People are so much more relaxed. And like someone mentioned in a live stream, comments to the video, they were glad to see me smiling in the video that I released yesterday about Mador grass. And Moscow is a pressure cooker, someone said. And you know what? That's absolutely true. Moscow is a pressure cooker this way, these days. And Tashkent is not. Tashkent is relaxed. And I'm feeling so much lighter here. And you know what? This morning, I caught myself thinking that I am actually feeling very guilty for feeling lighter, for feeling better. Okay? I don't know why, but that's what it is. Anyway, I wanted to deliver this message, 2 messages. First, I want to tell you how I found faith and I lost it, and how I don't have faith. And I did. And I also wanted to tell you what has happened to me in terms of faith in the past 30 days. So I think I delivered the message. I don't know why I shared this personal details of my life. And some people probably think that I'm absolutely crazy. But again, I had an urge. I have no clue why. Out of the things that I've been praying, and I've been asking every single time in the live streams to join me, a most amazing thing that I've seen right now is I get so many messages from people who don't believe in God, agnostics, just people who, don't really believe, and different kinds of people. And I think at least 15 messages through emails I received, that people saying something like that, hey, listen, thanks for what you're doing. I'm not a believer, but I pray with you, and I'm wishing all the best for us, wishing all good and things like that. So people who don't believe, they come and join the prayer. And I think it's very important because I think God likes that very much. I think people don't believe in God, but He believes in them. And every time He sees that person doesn't believe but prays, that I think He smiles every single time. And making him smile, I think that's a very good thing. And then in the comments to live stream chats, Lorna and Mommy, usually Mommy, she notices this messages people saying, "Oh, I'm not believer, but I join you in prayer." There've been 10-ish or so, messages, comments like that. It really touches my heart out of everything that happens in the streams and in prayers in this most happy thing for me. Okay. This is what I wanted to tell you. I would like to turn on this live stream chat right now, and I would like to see the comments. Please put them in caps. At least this way I can see that, I have a chance of seeing them. We don't have too many people in the stream, not as usual amount, not as usual crowd. Perhaps because I moved the stream 1 hour earlier, about 837 people right now. The reason I did is because it's pretty late in Uzbekistan, 1 a.m. And people ask me in a couple messages to move down a little bit or move it earlier because Europe has changed time, and now my streams that are 1 a.m. in Uzbekistan, they start 10 p.m. in Europe. It would be better for the Europeans to watch it, more convenient, a little earlier. And the Americans switched from 4 p.m. to 3 p.m. So let me know what you think about this switch of time, whether we should keep on doing 12 my midnight, which is 3 Eastern Standard Time, or we should go back to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please let me know on that. And please keep this chat clean, because Russia is not the safest place anymore. And please don't put me in more danger. My mods are absolutely fantastic. Lorna, Mommy, Robert Bates, Pinball, Harry Potter, and Bob S., Julie F., and Jan Prepper. And they basically trying to keep me safe. Okay, so you listen to what they have to say, and you do as they say, please. Let's keep this chat clean. And I'm turning on the chat. Yes, I think we are live. Lorna is the first one. Jean Rodriguez, hello, hello. Yarn Prepper, Julie F., Lorna. It's an incredible miracle to see my team of mods at every single stream, because hey, you know what? I stream every day, but they show up every day as well to keep my back safe, to watch my back, so to speak. Robert Bates, Bob S., Julie F., thank you so much. Lorna, Mommy, Robert, Pinball, Harry Potman, you guys are fantastic. You are true God's miracle. God has been showing me miracles one after another. And my eye surgery is also a miracle yesterday. I will speak more on that later, but that was incredible miracle. Okay, absolute incredible miracle. And I'm so grateful. Yeah, think about miracles. A lot of people think they don't really understand what miracles are and how they happen in their lives. I think that miracles happen every day. I just happen to notice a few of them, and I realize that they're miracles. And a lot of people say, well, that's good luck. That's coincidence. Oh, that's just, that's how things happen. I do not believe in coincidences. I think this world is Everything happens here for a reason. So I love reading the comments that you send me. Thank you so much, for being such great viewers, for sending words of support. They much needed and much appreciated. They make my wings behind my back grow, so to speak, when I read. That's why I love live streams so much. It's like sitting in front of the audience and not only speaking to an audience, but receiving questions and having connection with the audience. Okay, and I hate doing live streams with comments off, but basically the reason I turned them off, well, I decided to start without comments for the first half an hour. Today was 45 minutes without comments, right? 50 is because I started getting so many super chats, and I was thanking people for them, and I couldn't deliver messages anymore, you see. And super chats are fantastic and very, very welcome. Thank you so much. But the messages are what it's all about. It's not about money. Money is welcome, but money is secondary, okay? And plain and simple, I decided to shut off the comments so people would not send me super chats for some time, and I would not, get interrupted by anything, and I would deliver clear messages. And this is what I've started doing. And you know what? My super chats, they've dropped by a great deal, by like half or more than half. Okay, but it's worth it. I deliver the messages, and that's what it's all about. Speaking of which, the first one from Brian V, $5. As a minister, your story gives me strength. Thank you so much. I'm really glad to hear that. I'm really glad to get the reinforcement that I'm not crazy. I lost my dad suddenly too, but God keeps him in our hearts. God bless you, my friend. Thank you, Brian. God bless you too. God is keeping my dad next to me, and to my mom too. Not so easy doing this live stream. Nicole Leary, hello from Massachusetts. I almost missed you due to the time change, but you should change the stream to whatever time better for you. Thank you, Nicole. 1 a.m. is okay. It's not such a big deal. I live here by myself. I can sleep for a couple hours before the stream, then wake up, do the stream. It's not such a big deal. I'm thinking of you guys more and about the European audience. Perhaps it's better for them. But you let me know. You let me know what's better for you. I can do it anytime. Nancy Darling, $20, no message. Thank you, Nancy. Much appreciated. When does a super chat without message, it's also a message. Super chat itself is a very powerful message. It's one thing to say something like, oh, thank you, and that's another thing to send money saying thank you. Money is hard earned. I'm very sure that each one of you who sends money, sends super chats, works for the money, okay? And $20 is $20, and if you send me $20, then that's a very strong message that you give up some of your hard-earned money to support me and support my message. And this very reinforcing, Thank you. Jill, Greg, good vibes from Norwegian, South Dakota. Looking good, brother. Jill, I've been losing weight. It's so crazy, but every time I come to Uzbekistan, it's not my first time. I lived here for 2 years. I start losing weight. It's because of food, okay? The food is a 100% natural, and it's all fresh fruits, vegetables. Well, now no fruits yet, but veggies. They come from greenhouses now, but in about 3 weeks they're gonna be coming out of. It was 88 degrees today, 88 Fahrenheit, and fruits and veggies are growing. In 3 weeks we will start getting strawberries, freshly picked strawberries, and all kinds of stuff. I stopped eating meat in Uzbekistan. I become I have eaten meat a bit, a few, like for the few days, but my friend, the one who helped me with the surgery, is my best friend. He's a doctor. Yeah, he's a pharmaceutical manager or whatever. He's a doctor turned like he works for large corporations. He's a head of a large corporation here in Uzbekistan, American company that has presence here. He drinks quite a bit, and then he eats meat, all kinds of stuff. He doesn't eat healthy, and I kind of go along with him. But for the first few days, we hang out a lot. But now I turn into vegetarian because that's what I usually do. Things are so wonderful in terms of food here. You don't need to eat meat. It's hard to explain, but Uzbekistan, you gotta come and experience Uzbekistan for yourself. This country is very basic, very minimalistic and Spartan in many ways, but it's so incredibly good in other ways. Like food here is best in the world. Fruits and vegetables. You can live on tomatoes and cucumbers alone. Tomatoes are actually sweet. It's like they're sugared or anything, they're so tasty. You take a tomato and that's your meal. And it's incredible. So I've lost 3 pounds so far in 1 week, and I'm not doing anything. But guess what? In 10 days, my doctor told me that I can do sports again. I haven't done sports in years, and I'm an athlete. I like doing sports. And you watch me. I'll start jogging again. I'll start like doing activities, and I'm gonna shed 20 kilos, 40 pounds just like that. Couple months, you just watch me. I'm not making promises or anything like that. You just watch me. Couple more super chats. One from Jan E or Jan, I think it is. One day it's all over and bright future is coming. Keep faith from fate is coming. Oh, one day it's all over and bright future is coming. Keep faith from Sweden. You can say, let's put it this way. We all can say that I'm keeping faith. I call it differently, but that's okay. Let's call it faith. I'm keeping faith and it's becoming stronger. So thank you, Jan. Thank you from Sweden. Such a wonderful country. I used to work for a Swedish company, well, with a Swedish company. We had a joint venture with a large engineering Swedish holding company. So I know quite a few Swedes, people from Sweden. Fantastic people. John Venner, $5. Who's your favorite American football team? And why is it Philadelphia? Philadelphia Eagles. Much love from Philly. John, thanks for super chat. Thanks for the question. It's not Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sorry. I am from New England. I'm from Maine. So you guess what my favorite team is, The Patriots. Ein Leben das Kriegen bites. That's quite a... If you wanted to break my tongue, you just did, okay? That's a pretty interesting name. Ein Leben. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for sharing your personal story. Gives me so much hope. I'm glad. It gives you so much hope because it reinforces me that I did this for a reason and I'm not crazy. A lot of my friends probably will think I'm crazy tomorrow if they watch this stream, because Very few people like to share personal details on this level, let me tell you. And sometimes I think I'm crazy too for doing this, but words like yours, they really give me feedback, positive feedback. Howdy, howdy from St. John's, Newfoundland. Ryan Cameron. Hello, Ryan. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Tobias G. Hello, everyone. Speedy recovery for the eyes. Getting better. Getting better. Surgery is not that complicated. It just was terrible in terms of how I felt. Someone stuck huge lens into my eye and started shooting lasers, green lasers. And each laser is like explosion of green light. And I could not, I could not blink. That's the whole idea of, I had to look at the certain places. Oh, look up, right, look left up. And then 500 flashes and they go straight to your brain. Brain doesn't understand what's going on and then it starts going nuts. And I felt like my brain was boiling, okay, and it was, but I'm not complaining. It was a godsend, literally. That was a miracle that I came to Uzbekistan and I got incredibly... Why Uzbekistan? Let me tell you, I did not see doctors in Russia or in the United States like I just saw in Uzbekistan. It's fantastic people. God brought me to that place. And I will I'll tell you a separate story, it'd be too much for this stream. So thank you, Tobias. Catherine Goebel, usual suspect. Hi and God bless from Iowa. Catherine, thank you so much. Never been to Iowa. I know very little about your state. Couple super chats. Kathy Parsley, $9. Support and love from Spokane, Washington. I went through the spiritual struggle when my child passed away at 9 months. I'm really sorry to hear that. I understand the feeling of being lost. I also experienced being found again. Kathy, let me tell you something. When you're found again, that's one of the most incredibly great feelings of your life. Cannot be described with words. It has to be felt. Reezy Gray, 10 Canadian dollars. I know what you have to say. Hello from Canada, Mr. Popular. Thank you so much. Still not feeling like Mr. Popular. My throat is drying up. I'm sorry. Thank you for doing the stream today. Although I'm not religious, I have an interest in theology, so I'm very interested to hear what you have to say today. Thank you so much. Thank you, Reezy. I'm glad you find it interesting, I very much so. Mrs. Ladybug, the usual serial super chatter. Reezy Gray is the usual serial super chatter, and Mrs. Ladybug is also 14 Canadian dollars, no message. Thank you so much, very much appreciated. RC, $50. When I was young, I was very, very sick and in serious danger. When I finished my fourth emergency surgery, I was finally safe, and they released me from the ICU. I never told anyone, but I think God was with me that day. I was always a non-believer. You kind of feel it, and it cannot be described with words, but you feel he's there, You feel it. I feel it through feelings that I get. Sometimes it's like a wave of rush of something that I don't know how to explain it. It's a rush that goes from bottom to top like a wave, you know. And I know that's his presence. Or sometimes it's goosebumps. Sometimes it's just the answer in my head that pops up, you know, things like that. Um, RC, thank you for sharing, and you know, thank you for telling someone. Makes two of us, okay? Because I had never told things that I told you, a large crowd, you know, today. Um, I never said to anyone, and then it's the first time for you. Makes two of us, you know. Thanks for $50 too. Very much appreciated. That's gonna cover my rent here in Uzbekistan. I'm paying for my presence out of my own pocket here, so it's much appreciated. And Mary Sebs, $10. Thank you for sharing your faith journey. 1 hour ahead works very well for us in Arizona. It's 12 p.m. Are you receiving YouTube money? Maybe if you have an Uzbek bank account, it will be easier. I made a note of your question. I'm gonna thank for another super chat, and I'm gonna come back because it's a very good question. And I'll let you know. I'll give you the heads up what's going on with the money in Uzbek account and things like that. Kimberly Ellingson, $10. Hello from South Dakota. Thank you for creating this global YouTube family. And that's exactly how it feels like. It's a YouTube family, global YouTube family. People from all over the world write me, mostly from the USA, but from Australia, the UK, Europe, Finland, Sweden, Norway, Brazil, Chile, you know, Mexico. This is fantastic. That's one of the miracles. I had never experienced anything like this, okay? And it's just so good. I don't know, for me, it's such a great thing to go and have connection with all of you. Thank you. I hope you're doing okay during this time away from family. Not so well. That's one thing is I talk to them 3-4 times a day, and then I see my son in you know, my girls, my wife, but that's not the same as them being right here. So I'm not doing too well. I miss them very much. It's been a week. What's your favorite meal that reminds you of home? WhatsApp or Telegram call. That's my best favorite meal that reminds me of home, because I call up my wife and I hear her voice, and it's just so good. And sometimes, well, quite often, you know, she turns on the camera and I see her right here, and I'm right there for them, and that's my favorite meal here in Uzbekistan. Couple more super chats from Sabrina Fell, $20. Many messages. Hang on one second. So, and Mary, that's not to forget the name. Old lady on the couch just got my pension, so I thought I'd share today. Listen, if your pension is not great, then please don't. It's not about the money. It's about words and prayers and, you know, being here with us. Comments. Shh, please. This be up for a bit, then buried in the pile. They won't pay attention. May God be with you. Blessing from old lady on the couch. Sabrina, thank you so much. Very appreciated, you know. You are a young lady in the stream for me. You're not old lady on the couch. Thank you. RC, another $20. Hi again, Konstantin. I felt him. This is a feeling that cannot be described. Yes, I couldn't explain the feeling. Hey, I gotta get some water. I'm sorry, guys. Don't leave. The stream is turning out to be a little more difficult than I thought it would be. bought myself a brand new cup. I bought a few things. A teapot. Starting tomorrow, I'll be making tea. Has filmed everything. I'm gonna make a movie, a video to upload for the channel. So anyway, somehow my throat gets dry all the time. I felt him. I couldn't explain the feeling, and I was surprised too. All of a sudden, I was enveloped in warmth. That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. I feel enveloped in warmth and good feelings, and peace, yes. Like a big, warm, comforting hug, exactly. But the feeling was everywhere. This is exactly how I feel. Quite often, actually, And this is why I'm saying I don't have faith. It would be a mistake for me to call this faith, because how can you have faith? How can you believe into something out there if you're feeling it inside of you? Okay, that's beyond faith. That's connection. But let me tell you something. Once you lose that feeling, my friend, once you have it and once you lose it, that's horrible. When after, having connection, being enveloped in warmth and goodness and everything and peace, all of a sudden, you look into your heart and there's nothing there. Shit. The most difficult time of my life is now, because of this military operation, and my world is getting ruined and falling apart right in front of my eyes, and I'm just sitting watching and I don't know what to do, okay? I've said it many times in the streams, but the second worst feeling was after my dad passed, and I had this emptiness and cold inside of my heart, Thanks for sharing. That's exactly how I feel. Thanks for the money too. DP $10. Your story about your dad really touched my heart today. Please always have God in your heart and love him with all your heart, because he always loves you. Trust me, I have a reason to know it's true. Thank you so much. Wonderful words, and thank you for sharing. Thanks for $10 too. Much appreciated. Express audio video. I know who you are. Tom Hodges. Oh, you said it. Always enjoy what you have to say. Hey, thanks for messages, Thanks, appreciate it. I read them with interest all the time. Thanks for $20 as well. There was a question about, do I get paid from YouTube, and perhaps I should set up Uzbek account? Not so easy, my friends. A little off topic, okay? That's just something lighthearted, Or perhaps not so lighthearted. Perhaps it's... Anyway, I got paid from YouTube last couple weeks ago. Well, 10 days ago, to be exact. And the amount was not huge. So you understand, I don't make much money. I didn't make much money off YouTube. Few $100 here and there. It's like pocket change, okay? Last month was a little better, but still, it's not the amount to make a bank account, so to speak, okay? This month, I've had a significant amount. Thank you for two things. First of all, it's super chats. There have been hundreds of super chats. And I've made a few $1,000s on them. And second is, my views of the channel have skyrocketed. And I've made a significant amount from the advertisement. I think it's over $1,000, close to $2,000, okay? That's a lot. That's unheard of for my channel, okay? Because I'm small potatoes. And I'm going to get, if I get it, a pretty significant amount of money this month. And it's going to happen in the end of April. in about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. I don't know whether it's gonna happen or not, because I've been updating you on how everything changes in Russia. Most companies left. Visa, MasterCard don't work anymore. Well, all Russian YouTubers still got paid from Google. Money was transferred directly to their accounts. And what's going to happen next, we don't know. I'm just hoping that everything's going to work out at least this month, okay? Because YouTube is the last pillar of our connection with the world, okay? This is how we share our opinions, and this is how we show, well, we can receive money from Google. YouTube is the last thing, nothing else. I cannot receive money from Patreon anymore. Well, I can through a huge, very, like, I have some, like, I'm not going to tell you, but, you know, I can, but under, like, regular circumstances, I can't. You know what I mean? It's really trying times. So I came to Uzbekistan, and yes, a Russian national can open a bank account in Uzbekistan. And a lot of people from Moscow, from Russia, from like all over Russia, they come and open just for this person. They get, just for this reason, they get to a local bank and they open two accounts, one for euro, one for dollars, American dollars. There's a little problem with that. Russian government has such a thing as valutny control. It means foreign currency regulations. There are a set of rules that forbids Russian nationals to receive money to foreign bank accounts. Basically, Russian government tells us on what we can receive and what we can't, according to the government rules. We cannot make sales and receive money, just to quick like example, and receive money into our accounts here, okay? Believe it or not. We cannot transfer money out of our account in Russia into this account. We cannot receive money from people into our accounts here, and so forth. I never dealt with this foreign currency control law in Russia, and I started dealing, and literally my hair went straight up. I was like, what? They're telling me what I can and I cannot receive in my account in another country? But you know what? That's a federal law. And if I break it, they have all the right to seize my money, okay, in the amount that was received here in Uzbekistan. They can fine me, and they can as much as send me to jail if the amounts will be large, okay? Woohoo! So, one of the things that I can do safely is take money out of my pocket, cash, $100, and put it into my account through ATM, okay? Deposit. So I can pay services like Canva, Amazon Prime and things like that, not like Russian accounts not taken anymore anywhere. The Visa, MasterCard of Russian banks don't work, but Uzbek works everywhere, right? I can do that, and that's pretty much what I can do with the Uzbek account. So Russians who fly and open accounts here, they are in for rude awakening, because they don't know what is this foreign currency control is. It's crazy, okay? So not so good so far, I hope that I will receive that large amount. Looks like my views on the channel has stopped growing in the last couple days, and the views are down big time. So I'm going from a spike to being small potatoes again. But that's okay, I'm really happy for and thankful and grateful for the spike that the March of month was in my YouTube history, so to speak, And I am very thankful to all of you supporting me, and then sending money and just sending support and viewing my live streams, being here, commenting, and just being here, you know. Mrs. Ladybug, didn't you already send a super chat? 13.99 Canadian. Thank you so much. Serial super chatter. 89 MRSA. 250 from Croatia. Croatia. Хорватия. There you go. Sympathize. Cannot speak straight. I wish I had tea. Tea is hot and it kind of relaxes and soothes, relaxes muscles here. Sympathize with you. Lived similarly in the 90s. Greetings from Croatia. Maybe short Russian opinion on the Southern Slavs. Thanks for super chat. Thanks for these words. Thanks for sympathizing. I'd love to. I just don't know what to say. Short opinion on the Southern Slavs. I am a Southern Slav. I was born and raised in Rostov-on-Don, in the northern Black Sea region, Azov Sea, Black Sea, right next to Ukraine. Never thought Ukraine was a different country. It was brothers and sisters. They were not anymore. We're not brothers and sisters to them, I'm sure, anymore. And this is such a freaking tragedy, What have they done and what for? Why? Why did we have to do that? Anyway, Southern Slavs I am a Southern Slav, so great people, brothers and sisters. That's my short opinion. We're like a family in the world, okay? And that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. I don't know what else to say. Reposh Press, $20. Thank you so much. Heart. I'm sending you back. Thank you. I would like to ask you a personal favor, especially the ones from Canada. Someone in the news, in the comments this morning, wrote me that last night CBS Canada aired information and they mentioned me in their news report, and they actually credited me with some footage, and they were saying that's from the Inside Russia, the blog. If you watched it, would you please send me a link? You can just tell me which program that was. It's really interesting, which program it was, or if you could send me a link, or you can email me information. At least let me know if you saw that, when and like how, okay? Because it's really interesting. If CBS quoted me, then it's pretty big. Not CBS, CBC Canada, I think that's what, or perhaps CBS Canada. Anyway. $5 from Danny Truitt. Your streams are very encouraging. You have a very good attitude considering what you go through. Yeah. Praying for you, family in your country. Thank you so much, Danny. Going through hard time. That's true. That's really true. Just very short time ago, everything was fine and normal. I had plans, I had future, I had life, I had everything. Now, everything's changed. How do I explain what I'm going through? But you know what? What I am going through has just, it's no big deal. What the Ukrainians are going through right now. They also had lives, future, jobs, everything. And all of a sudden, their brothers and sisters showed up. Ryori, $5. Hi Constantine, continue to build your skills in video production, filming and editing. Your most recent video was great. Keep working on 20-minute vlogs. My yesterday's video was actually a gulp of fresh air for me because I was feeling really down, and my friend called me up, and the one who's helping me, my best friend, he said, listen, what are you doing? I said, nothing. He goes, I'll meet you in 10 minutes, Well, meet me in 10 minutes in front of your apartment. Let's go in front of a hotel or whatever. Let's go, for a drive. And he took me for a drive to see Madori grass people. That's a real thing. I wasn't making anything up. It's a lot of people from Tashkent drive for 1 hour to the mountains. And it's always great to be in the mountains. It's absolutely different. Air is different. Water is different there. You kind of unwind. The mountains kind of heal you, And they're not too far from Tashkent, 1 hour. So we drove there, and it was pretty cool drive, and then we went to this little side road cafe. I can't even say it's a cafe. It's basically a couple ovens, and then they just give you whatever they make in the ovens. They give it to you. Well, you saw in the video, right? And it felt so good. I was smiling. I was feeling good. I was unwinding. I was kind of like relaxing. And then I brought the footage back. I edited. I did the video. I uploaded, and I watched it, and I started feeling guilty for actually feeling good. Okay, it was just so crazy. Kristen Barrett Mattern, $10. The light will shine again. Thank you so much for the words. I think it will. Now you see I'm acting on faith again about this light. I know it will shine. I have faith in this light that it will shine again. But it's not just knowing. It's not feeling the light. It's having faith. It's believing in light. Thank you. Zangiyev is here. Vasya, привет. How is plov there? Zangiyev, why are you asking me this question? This is the land where pilaf, was invented. They have had pilaf for 4,000+ years. This is the best pilaf in the world. Anywhere you go, literally, there's a street cafe right outside of my apartment, in the middle of nowhere, in the boondocks. Well, it's not really boondocks, it's the center of the city, but it looks like boondocks. And they make best pilaf in the world. Every single person here makes the best pilaf in the world. It's incredible. The problem with pilaf, it's really heavy food. It's full of oil, and it's very fattening, very fatty, Otherwise, I'd be eating pilaf 3 times a day, okay? By the way, they don't make it at night. They don't make it in the morning. This is a lunch meal, exactly, for it's very heavy for you, and it's bad for eating at night or in the morning. Only in the lunchtime. This is like most favorite time for pilaf. So Vasily, pilaf here is... I'm gonna make a few videos on the pilaf. There's a place called Среднеазиатский центр плова, Middle Eastern Center of Pilaf, the best, undoubtedly, the best pilaf in the world I've had. Incredible. They feed 5,000 people in 3 hours. Entire Tashkent comes to have lunch there. I'm gonna show you. Keep on tuning in, please. There's a question from Philip Blair. Out in the Uzbek countryside, inside Russia? If so, what is the wildlife like? Plentiful. Wildlife here is absolutely plentiful. How do I say that? They have tons of things that can bite you and sting you. Scorpions. Scorpions are everywhere. Even in Tashkent, even in this building, there are scorpions. They usually live on the roof when it's hot in the summertime, but they never bother people because they're afraid of people. Snakes, venomous snakes, very venomous snakes, spiders, bears in the mountains. Yes, I've seen the bear here once, far away, thank goodness. They're not large like in Russia, but they're still pretty bad. Foxes, that's so much wildlife. You just get out of Tashkent and you are instantly in the countryside. There's so much wildlife. It's amazing. If I stay here long enough, I will film. I can't film the wildlife itself, the animals or insects, but I'll just, if I film like the mountains and the fields, you will understand that it's like full of it. Marianne L. Your Small Potatoes is one of the best channels on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm new here. Your heartwarming stories and prayers captured my attention and are much needed during these times. Glad you can smile, laugh, and relax a little. I can now. Moscow is a pressure cooker. It's really hard to be there. Once you get out of Moscow, it lets you go a little bit. You unwind a little bit. But you know what? I start feeling guilty about this. I start feeling guilty about smiling, laughing, and relaxing a bit. And that's also a bad feeling. I don't know what to do with it, honestly. Thanks for wonderful words. Small potatoes, I am. Thanks for $20. Super chat is much welcome. Thank you. $5 for Susan Hadley. Feeling guilty comes from having a kind of caring, being in tune with the suffering with others. We'll benefit from your prayers and your sharing. Thank you so much, Susan. That's probably the best thing I can hear from a person. Thank you. Yeah, Lorna, thanks for putting up Zangiev's channel. Guys, go check out his videos. Very cool. Zangiev is a neighbor of mine in Moscow. He lives not too far, and I really like making videos with him. Leo P has mods. Do you mind if I stay for 20 minutes longer? A little longer. I'm enjoying right now. I would hate to cut off the stream. Leo P, idea for reposted streams. You can have it without the live chats. What do you think? Nikki does that. Well, I turn off the live streams posts as soon as the live streams are over. So I'm not sure if that's what you meant. Reposted streams. What's a reposted stream? I was thinking doing a live stream at a very odd time. But if my mods are sleeping or unavailable, then I will just shut off the comments and I just stream so you guys can just see, no comments, no live chats, no super chats or anything like that, That's one of the things I was thinking. John Venner, $5. Thank you. Thank you for your message, love, and consistency. It must be really hard. Just like when the Eagles beat the Patriots on the Super Bowl. Yeah. Thanks for the message. Yeah, it's pretty funny. It made me laugh. Thanks for caring and thanks for sending some money. I appreciate it. Reezy Gray again. Serial super chatter. Hey, Mr. Famous. I'm not famous. Far from famous, I have the link to CBS video with you. You have? Wow, that's incredible. Can you please send me? But I can't seem to send it via super chat. Any idea how I can send it? Two ways. You can, no super chat, just a comment. Put it in the comment. And if not that, just email me. There's email in the about section. Would love to see what they have to say about me. Or what kind of footage they took from my videos, you know. By the way, how big is CBS? Like, where is it broadcasted? A province, or Canada, or like, what's the audience? Would be interesting to know. I'm seeing that you're saying hope this works, but there is no link. Robert Bates, has he joined us? There you go. Robert, good to see you. I'll email you after the stream. Mary Doran, never feel guilty for smiling. It's good for the soul, and you need to release all that build up and tension. You're only human, Constantine. I'm very weak one, actually. Lovely hearing you laugh from Ireland. Thank you, Mary. Hey, by the way, do you ever watch RTE? I am only human, that's right. And I'm very weak one, actually. Sometimes it's not easy. Gosh, everything was so nice and lovely before that 24th of February, when I was just walking around and showing you wonderful Moscow sights and legendary parks and places and things like that. Do you remember those times? And now, all of a sudden, so crazy. I'm really sorry it all came down to this, you know. Brian Dart, will your family come to visit you while on your work trip? Brian, I'd rather not speak about that publicly, but your question is well understood, and trust me, I'm doing everything I can. Philip Blair, CBC in Canada is like Canadian BBC in Britain, so it's like all over Canada. I'm still not seeing the link. So CBS, right? So it's national channel in Canada. That's pretty insane. How did they find me? Covers all Canada. I think Harry Potterman didn't know where we're going live. Well, Lorna, it's okay. Harry, I apologize. It's kind of an experiment, so don't worry about it. I messaged Harry this morning saying that I'd have to speak to mods, the Lorna, and no, didn't message Harry this morning. I'm confused. That's my surgery. I'm sorry. I messaged perhaps someone else. But anyway, don't worry about joining late. It's a little experiment. I am trying to accommodate more people, so it's much comfortable for many people. Cindy Bednar, are you worried about flying in the future? Tech parts? Oh, the planes? No, not worried about anything anymore, Cindy, you know. How do I say that? Uh, this connection I feel, that really gives me strength, and it kind of calms me down not to worry about many things, because you could say I have faith. I'm ready to go at any moment of my life, and it doesn't really scare me whatsoever. It would be really pitiful because I have kids. I would like to see them grow, and people who love me. I understand what they would go through if I'm gone all of a sudden. Okay, that's a lot of pain because I understand my dad was gone and I was going through a lot of pain, and I don't want to go, but I'm not afraid of it, and I'm certainly not afraid of flying. Um, I don't care. Got the super chat from Jim Cooper. Thank you so much. $5. The CBC video is on YouTube called Why Some Fast Food Chains Are Still Open in Russia. Hang on, let me look it up right now so I don't forget. The ones that are open, I think they're owned by Russians. There you go. Okay, I'll watch the show. It's a couple minutes, right? It's not long. That's cool. I wonder how in the world they found me, or how did they mention me in there. Beats me. There's a super chat from Mrs. Ladybug. She's become a very serial super chatter. Just in this one stream, $14. My dad was also healed from a broken neck. God's presence is undeniable, and He wants us to know Him. 1 John says that we have seen Him with our eyes, touched and experienced Him. Yes, we have. My father literally saw Him with his eyes. I didn't see Him like that. I didn't see any like person or Jesus, but I feel Him, and you know what? Feeling is more powerful than seeing and believing. I see the miracles that happen to me all the time, and I would like to mention one guy in the stream. His name is John Liebold. We've been talking for a long time, about a year, and he calls me up sometimes after the streams, and he's like, "Hey, Constantine, that was a good stream. I like this and that," or he's like, "Hey, I didn't like this part. You should rethink about doing something different." And then he was in Rostov. He has a son living with him. Is a good buddy of mine, and John always, he doesn't ridicule me, but he's like, "Hey, I don't believe in religion. I don't believe in Christianity and things like that." We discussed a few times, but then he's very nice. He comes back and always says, "Listen, I respect your faith. I respect what you believe in. I respect the prayers and everything else." But I was thinking that John is saying that he does not believe in religion, okay? But there's one thing about John. He loves his son so much. His son's name is Max, and he lives with John, and John's heart is full of love to Max, right? And that's it, and that's enough. He might not believe in God, but God believes in him, because God is love, and God is inside of John. Whether John knows or not, likes it or not, it doesn't matter. But once you let love inside of you, inside of your heart, then that's where the God comes in, okay? And then he's right there with John, and he believes in John, let's put it this way. And then he's the guy, the example I wanted to give. He loves his son, and that's enough. That's enough. That's where the God is. It's not about religion. It's not about organized religion. It's not about going to church and seeing a priest or anything like that. It's not about, it's about having love in your heart, having good feelings, being open to other people, being part of this world. That's basically what, to me, God is all about. Okay, church helps. Um, I like going to church. My father was Baptist, right? Because he kind of got introduced to church by Jesus, and he was sent to Baptist church. My mom is Eastern Orthodox, but then he was with my dad in Baptist church. I am Eastern Orthodox. My first wife was Catholic. My Natasha, my wife, is Eastern Orthodox as well. But her entire family is German, so the German are usually Catholic. So you tell me, what difference does it make? Okay, what church you belong to, as long as you have God in your heart. Okay, in my opinion. Okay, gotta wrap it up soon. Rebecca Witzman, I'm an atheist, but I love religion. I got a degree in comparative religion. I take that positive, leave the negatives, celebrate so many cultures and holidays. I don't need to believe to value it. Rebecca, thanks for sharing. Just like I say, you don't have to believe in God. As long as God believes in you, that's all that matters. Craig Farrow, I have a broken neck. It was later fused. I just can't look over my shoulders or get into small cars. God has a plan. He certainly does, my friend. He certainly does. He's worked with me and has definitely has a plan for me. He has a plan for everyone. It's just a lot of people don't see it. A lot of people, like I was when my dad passed away, that they close communication, and they don't let this plan, they don't see the miracles, they don't let this plan, they don't see the plan, okay? And then some people actually see, they have communication, and that's what the difference is. But it doesn't make any difference to God, it makes difference to us, okay? But to God, it's all the same. Again, that's my personal opinion. Don't throw rocks into me. Lorna says that John Liebold was banned twice. You know what? After this conversation, I'm gonna unban John, and I'm gonna ask John to behave. John always picks up fights with here in the chat. Best wishes from Australia, from Shane Wilson. Thank you so much. Shane, I am in Uzbekistan, in the capital of Tashkent, not too far away from Afghanistan. Uzbekistan and Afghanistan has a border. That's where the Russian troops were invading Afghanistan from. from the city of Termez. There's a huge bridge between a river that is the border between Uzbekistan and Afghanistan. I wanted to go there for a long time, to Termez, but that's a really hard area to get into, and you cannot film there. I initially had a plan to jump on a cross, like walk over the bridge, cross into Afghanistan, jump on a taxi cab, and so it would take me to Kabul, Afghanistan, and then from Kabul I would fly it back to either Russia or Tashkent. But then my friends talked me out of it, probably for a good reason. Mary Doran, yes, I watch RTE, our news station. You're stronger than you think. If you ever come to Ireland, I'll have a pint of Guinness waiting for you, my friend. Thank you so much. We went to an Irish pub here in Tashkent yesterday. Tons of foreigners speaking English. Me and my friend, he took me out for just a quick outing in here in Tashkent. There's an Irish pub. It's pretty authentic. They definitely serve Guinness. Once my eyes heal a little more, then I will go out. I will film just for you and the Irish people. It's funny, but Irish pubs are an embassy of Ireland throughout the world, and you can find such an embassy at every single major city in the world. You get inside of an Irish pub, it's all the same beer. There's definitely Guinness, same music, Irish music, fantastic by the way, same decor, and it'd be at least one Irishman. That's so funny. So thank you so much. Ireland forever, says Susan Gitz. Ireland is amazing. Never been to Ireland, but let us pray, says Julia. You wanna go? Okay, just a couple minutes and we'll pray. Susan S is here. He wouldn't stop running his mouth. Is it me? Or I don't really get what a cash tent. Would you rather be in Tashkent? Oh, cash tent. I got it. Tashkent. I'd rather be in Tashkent, but cash tent would be nice. Let me tell you. I see Lorna referring to John Liebold. Yeah, he usually picks up fights. He sends me wonderful messages, personal messages. So he's a good guy. I like him. Thank you, Konstantin and Mods, for the extra time today. Yes, thank you so much, Susan. Robert Holland, cash is only good if it has value. That's very true. But all cash has value. It's just values are different for different cash. Oh, no kidding. Sandra, hello from Santa Barbara. Praying for your safety. God bless. Just one last thing before I would ask you to join me in prayer. Sandra, I'm not sure if you watched my earlier streams or my videos when I was talking about Santa Barbara, one of the most amazing towns that I've been to. When I was thinking of what to do with my life next, when I was 28, 27 perhaps, me and my first wife, we went to Los Angeles and drove up all the way to Santa Barbara, and we fell in love with the city. It doesn't get any better than that, Santa Barbara. Climate, people, this perfectionness of everything, cleanliness, just fantastic stuff. It's just we could not afford to live in Santa Barbara at the time, but we found a place right south of Santa Barbara called Carpinteria, and we decided to move there. We ended up moving to Russia instead of Carp, and instead of working and living near Santa Barbara, but that was our choice. Okay, Santa Barbara is such a fantastic place. Mary Doran, you get inside an Irish pub and you never leave sober. Mary, I'm a little ashamed to say it, but in the United States, an Irish girl drank me under the table once. I was young and strong, but still, I couldn't believe. I passed out. She won, okay? It's pretty amazing. Anyway, it's been a really interesting, not an easy stream, okay? But very difficult, actually. Thank you. It's been therapeutic. I feel really good about this. And it's great that we had a little longer stream. Tomorrow is Saturday, by the way. So, mods, I am allowed to do longer streams on Saturdays. So it's going to be 2 hours tomorrow, too. And then after that, back to normal 1 hour streams. I'm glad to read that the stream was gentle on mods. Good. It's been really good. Thank you for being with me. Great question is Krolova Beak. Who is Mary from Ukraine who you pray for every evening? I'm from Poland and I will be happy to help her if she is such a need for an opportunity. Thank you so much. Mary is a dear member of this community. She was in my streams. Her nickname is Maria Z. She was in the streams every single stream, every single week, okay? Every time I would go stream from different places, from Rostov, from Moscow, she was there. And she was born and raised in Rostov, so we're from the same city. And then she enjoyed my streams from Rostov, and I took her to, actually I showed once the apartment block that she was raised in, and things like that. So she was really good. She was like, how do I say that, serial live streamer in the chat, so to speak. And then 20 years ago, she moved to Kiev, and she lived in Kiev. And all of a sudden, on the 24th of February, this, I don't know how to say that, please forgive me, but the shitstorm started. And then she was caught right in the middle of it. She emailed me. She kept on emailing me every single day, updating on her situation. She lived with her mom, 82-year-old woman, and her son, 22-year-old boy, I don't know. And then they had to go down to bomb shelter every single day, every night, and spend there. One day they didn't make it to the bomb shelter, and they just sat outside of their apartment by a huge wall, and they were sitting on the ground all night, and they were sleeping basically on the ground. It's really hard for me even to say that. And the first time I had the urge to pray was to pray for her. It was on February 26th or 27th or something like that. And we prayed every single time for her to get out Kiev and go to someplace more safe. She ended up escaping. That's also a miracle. There were a few people showed up willing to help her, who were coordinating the relief efforts and things like that. And uh, she is safe now in the western Ukraine. She cannot leave for Poland because her son is 22 and she doesn't want to leave him. She asked for money. I managed to ask my friends to from other country to send her some money, but she has not received. She has hard time receiving in their account, bank account. I don't really know how to help her. She emailed me 3 days ago, the last time. She said everything okay, but money would help. I would, I would send her my own money if I could. It's just by Russian law, I'm prohibited to send any money to Ukraine to support so-called extremists. I tried even before that law passed, right on the 26th, I think, 27th, because all the laws started getting passed in March. In February, we were more or less free, okay? But I tried to send $100. Immediately, I got a call from my bank saying, "What? Why are you trying to send money to Ukraine? Who?" They started as almost interrogating me, and then they didn't take my payment, okay? And after that, there was a new law passed that makes it illegal. So if I could, I would send her my own money, but there are ways to send her. It's just she needs to receive in the account, and I don't know how to arrange that. Thank you, Yarn Prepper. Okay. I would like to pray. Thank you so much for coming today, and please join me in prayer. If you're a believer, you probably would. If you're a non-believer, also please join. All I'm asking humbly and I'm begging for you to join. Just do me a favor, please. Spend a couple minutes of your time and repeat after me and just be with us, okay? A member of this community in prayer. It's okay that you don't believe in God. It doesn't really matter whatsoever. The thing is, He believes in you. And that's why I want you to join our prayer. Dear God, thank you so much for everything that you gave us today. Thank you for putting food on our tables, putting roofs over our heads, surrounding us with the loved ones, with family, with children, grandchildren, parents, husbands, wives, family and colleagues, friends, good people. Thank you. Thank you for helping me with my eyes, and thanks you for bringing me to Tashkent. I would like to ask you to help people in Ukraine. Please have this bloodshed stop. There are people who make decisions on whether to stop or continue, and I am asking you to put sense into their heads, to open their eyes, and so they can see what has happened in Ukraine, what has been done, so they get terrified. I'm asking to open their hearts and fill them with love and compassion and remorse, and have them stop this bloodshed. I'm asking you to send angels, your helpers, to all people in Ukraine, to keep them out of harm's way, to have angels work and help people. I'm asking everyone to be safe. Regular people, soldiers from Ukraine, soldiers from Russia, everyone. I'm asking you to have people wake up who are in fight, who fight other people. Have them wake up. Have them realize what's going on. touch their hearts. I want to ask you to send angels with sharp swords to my country, Russia, and clean up the mess that has been put on my country. I want you to send angels with sharp swords so they get rid of the demons that have hijacked my country. I want you to send angels so they run Russia, and Russia shines again and shows the entire world that it's good, it's a good neighbor, it's a good member of global community, and good things come out of Russia from now on. I want you to send help to Ukraine through all people in the world to stop the bloodshed and rebuild the country, for people to come back and enjoy their normal lives, and I want Ukraine to shine as well. I want to ask you to hear everyone in this live stream praying with me right now, and there are a lot of good people. I want you to touch their hearts and answer their prayers. Every one of us need different things and asking you for different things. So, and praying for different things. So please hear those prayers and answer them for every single person. I would like to ask you for our children, so they grow up with compassion, mercy, and love in their hearts, and they will never fight. I want you to ask to make our children better than us when they grow up. I want to ask you to give them sense so they build a better world than we have built, where there will be no fighting, no conflicts, no wars, nothing, just peace, love, and happiness. It's very possible with your help, and I'm asking you that. I'm asking for all people in the world, really. Conflict in Ukraine is not the only one, and I want you to help everyone to stop all the bloodsheds all over and help all people affected and keep them out of harm's way. Thank you very much, dear God. Amen. Thank you, my friends. It's been a really good stream. Not an easy one, but very therapeutic somehow. I feel really good. Thank you. Tomorrow is Saturday, and I'm gonna have something. I'll try to have something more fun for you from Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Thank you. You're awesome and you rock. Please keep on coming back for more. And I will see you tomorrow.